Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I could not be any more grateful. I went to a meeting last night, one of my favorites, and afterwards a buddy of mine left. He and I left, and we went to have our own meeting afterwards. I ended up having 4 meetings after that one meeting last night. And by the way, Amy J, it was great to catch up with you. I did not realize we'd been on the phone for 3 hours. We need to talk more frequently for sure and catch up. I will never get the chicken in the car thing out of my head. It's permanently etched in my memory now. Sure as hell will never look at a jar of Jiffy peanut butter ever the same ever again either. So thank you for catching up. Why do I do that? Why do I go to meetings and then I have meetings after the meetings? Well, the short answer to that question is I want to learn. I'm still learning. What is it you're trying to learn? I'm learning how to stay stopped. See, up until 2021, if 2021 rolled around, I had already tried everything under the sun to stop drinking and to stay stopped. I was great at stopping. I was terrible at staying stopped. And so I literally went to war with myself, trying to figure that out. I fought the battle of, maybe I don't have no problem, only to lose that battle. Maybe I did have a problem. So then I fought another battle. I can control my drinking. I can manage my drinking. And I lost that battle too. Maybe I couldn't control and manage my drinking. So then I decided to fight the biggest battle of them all. I can stop whenever I want. And as you can accurately guess, I didn't fare too well in that battle either. Matter of fact, I lost that battle. That's why I said about a week ago, I didn't surrender. I just lost a fucking war. I just lost a war. And so by the time I came into RIMS in 2021, I had learned 3 valuable lessons already. 1, I did have a problem. 2, I couldn't control or manage that problem. And 3, perhaps the scariest lesson of them all, is I couldn't stop. I did not know how to stop. So coming back into these rooms, coming into these meeting rooms, these meetings, if you will, that was my opportunity for me to learn. And I used to say early on that, I had a very narrow window of time, opportunity of time to come in and learn as much as I could, as quickly as I could, because life was coming right around that bend. And so going into these rooms, I wanted to learn, so I had to take it seriously. I had to treat these meetings like a classroom, hence the recovery classroom, of course. I had to treat these meetings like a classroom, and I was the student. The meeting was the classroom, I was the student, and all you guys were the professors. You guys were the professors. You guys were the ones teaching me what I'd done wrong all those years. And I remember one of the most important lessons I learned early on was if I can't put that first one in me, because if I put that first one in me, I can never stop. And see, that was the one lesson my alcoholism never wanted me to know. It never wanted me to know that. Because after all, if I knew that, well, then I just wouldn't put that first one in me, right? And so once I figured that out, once I came into class and I figured out that little tidbit that, if I don't put that first one, if I put that first one in me, then I can never stop. Once I figured that out, my alcoholism said, oh shit, we got to up the game. He's got our game plan. He knows our game plan. We've been using that game plan for years, but now he's figured it out. So we got to up the ante. We got to up the game, right? So I had to get a little bit more cunning, baffling, and powerful. It had to start figuring out how to lie to me, how to manipulate my emotions, how to get me to start obsessing over it, how to throw life on life's terms at me. And that's why I keep coming back to class. That's why I keep coming to meetings. Because where alcoholism is continually upping its game, I too have to continually up my education. See, I like to think of meetings anyway as continuing education units, right? CEUs. That's how I think. I went to 2 meetings this past weekend, and I didn't go for anybody else. I went for me because I needed to continually up my education. It's time for us to go back to school. It's time for me to stay in school. Matter of fact, because my alcoholism is going to continually try to one up me, to try to trick me and try to manipulate me to get me to fall back in my old ways. And if I'm not on my game, if I'm not continually learning by having these meetings before the meeting of the meeting, and the meeting after the meetings, like last night, I had 4 of them. If I'm not continually trying to learn as much as I can, one of these days, my alcoholism, he may just sucker me back in, and that's something I don't want. So I want to encourage you, find meetings. If you don't have meetings around you, immediately around you, pick up the phone and call somebody. Hell, just meet with one other person who understands the situation you're in, who understands what you're dealing with. Maybe one other person who has gone through the very same thing you're going through. Have your own meeting. It doesn't have to be in a VFW or a church or anything like that. Hell, I mean, it can be anywhere. It can be at the Waffle House, kind of like it is always for me anyway. It can be anywhere. It can be on the phone. Find like-minded people. Find people who have figured out how to solve their problem, and start having meetings with those guys. And that way they can help you figure out how to solve yours. The most important thing is don't ever think you have it all figured out. Don't ever think you're done. You've graduated. You've never graduated. I got all the degrees and the PhDs in drinking. I was successful at drinking and fucking up my life. But it's a daily grind, a daily effort for me to make sure I'm successful by not drinking today. And that's why we say we have to take it one day at a time. I want to encourage you, find like-minded people, get around them, and start picking up, start learning as much as you can, because your alcoholism is all your addiction is always going to be trying to one-up you. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. This, you guys, absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to have discussed, feel free to drop it into an email to me, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it and see what we can do. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.